have finished Queenie. I have finished the Red Tent. There are other books I want to read before the month finishes, but I'm not playing the Roll the Dice game because I know what I want to read. So I'm going to share that with you now. So my first book is
Two Rivals, Two Stories, Two Hearts, One Fate. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again. All 18-year-old Iris Winnow wants to do is hold her family together. With a brother forced to fight on behalf of the gods now missing from the front line, and a mother drowning her sorrows, Iris's best bet is winning the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. But when her letters to her brother fall into the wrong hands, handsome but cold Roman Kit, her rival at the paper, an unlikely connection forms. An epic enemies to lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love.
So Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. It's a buddy read that I am doing with Vidania from Vidania Silverscribe and Chloe from Phantom of the Pages. We have broken this into 3 parts and they are way ahead of me and I really want to catch up and join in their chat. So I have started this. This is the Fairy Loot edition, which is very beautiful. I originally read the first 2 chapters to see if I did feel it was going to be the book for me and if I was possibly considering getting the sequel. And from the writing style, I definitely was invested in it. I really enjoyed the way, just the dialogue, hearing the characters talking to each other, the atmosphere of this kind of wartime 1940s-ish feel in this kind of like journalist place with typewriters. I just really enjoyed all of that. The concept of the war being but like Greek gods. I was very intrigued. I'm intrigued by the characters. I'm enjoying the banter and the witticism and the hate part between our protagonists Iris and Roman. So I was very much looking forward to where it all went afterwards. So for me, it's definitely given me more magical realism vibes, and I think that is going to be the feel of the book rather than it being a full-on fantasy. And it's definitely a fantasy romance, and I don't know if the romance or the fantasy is going to be the bigger part of the story, but I'm really enjoying the writing and I'm keen to see where the story goes. And the other book I have that I want to be reading in January is
Rashad is absent again today. That's the graffiti that started it all. Well, no, actually, a woman tripping over Rashad at the store making him drop a bag of crisps was what started it all, because it didn't matter what Rashad said next, that it was an accident, he wasn't stealing. The policeman just kept pummeling him. And why? Because it looked like he was stealing, and he was a black kid in baggy clothes, so he must have been stealing. And that's what Quinn, a white kid, saw. He saw his best friend's older brother, a policeman, beating the daylights out of a classmate. At first, Quinn doesn't tell a soul. When the school starts to divide on what happens, blame spreads like wildfire. Quinn realises that, bystander or not, he's a part of history, and he just has to figure out what side of history that will be. All American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley.
So All American Boys, I definitely want to, I was definitely interested in reading when hearing about the Banned Books Challenge, mainly because it's Jason Reynolds. Jason Reynolds has written one of my favourite books, which is Long Way Down, which is a novel in verse, and it's sort of like a revenge story, and the way it's done is just fantastic. Like, it's just the character arc, the setup, the atmosphere, the way he presents the story was incredible. I also really enjoyed a poetry collection of his called Oxygen Mask, and again, the sentiment of the story, the themes that were tackled in there, and his way with words. It's my first prose by him, so I'm really keen. I'm very interested in the theme as well. I think it's, I have my instinct about why this book is on the banned book list. I think it is because it's got police brutality in here that rubs people up the wrong way. It might be because some people do not like seeing black people depicted in a certain light. I don't know. So it could be for racist reasons as well. I definitely want to read more about this subject, and I'm keen to see what both Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley explore through this book. So very excited for this one. This is a library copy and it is illustrated. I did kind of show you when I found it in the library and when I picked it up in one of my previous videos. I think it was the roll number 1 when I did my first roll. So I'm not rolling for this one because I just want to read it. So I'm going to. So those were the 2 books that I will be finishing out January with. And then you'll find out more what I thought about them when I do my wrap-ups. So the next roll I will be doing will be in February. I'm going to continue this way of doing things throughout February, and then in March I'll be back doing my full-on TBR game with a set TBR. Happy reading!